Before we make the back, I'm just going to check that I've got the measurements right, and I'm going to start assembling some of the parts we've made. So this is how to make an assembly file, and we'll start off with the first 4 parts we made. I'm going to make a new file. This time I'm going to use an assembly. I will call this slider. Because it's an assembly, it can have the same name as one of the elements. And I'm now going to assemble parts into this. So I'm going to assemble in the mirror. Open that up, position it roughly in there, and I'm actually going to use default. Notice it's gone gold because all's good. Let's put this in isometric. It looks pretty good to me. Zoom out a little. Now I can assemble everything else to this. So the next part to this, of course, is the mirror back. Open that. I want this to go on the back of that point. Make sure that the shampoo is good. Okay, because the way we're putting it together like this, the way we put it together in reality is the last thing that will go on before the bezel is the mirror. I want this face here, which I've just clicked on, to stick to that face there, and I've got coincident there. If we roll this around, we can see that they're lining up. I now want the top edges to line up with a coincident, and if I now pick these edges here, this one, just a click and a click, we've got a distance setting, but I can change that distance setting to coincident here, and everything's good. Let's have a look at that in isometric. Right, now I want to assemble the slider part. Open. Okay. Now, just to make things a little easier, pick it up by the ball and slide it over the top. And this, I can wing that round that way. I've got some holes that can line up with the holes in here. So let's slide it over the hole till that's selected, and over this hole, so they're now coincident. And I'm going to do the same with the second hole. I'm pressing down the right wheel, the wheel button, sorry, in the middle to rotate the view, and then just click on that one again, and this one's coincident and that one's oriented. And the final thing we need to do, you can see there's only one movement, freedom now, freedom movement. So select that face, and tell it to be coincident, which it's got. You see that's gone gold, so everything's good. And the final step is just to assemble the other. So the same thing, slider. Now, this is going to want to automatically do things for us, but in actual fact we've flipped it. So take off the automatic by putting on the manual selection, because we slip this round, but you see the notches in the bottom, so we're going to have to spin it round this way as well. And now we can select that hole, rolling the wheel to zoom out, rolling wheel to zoom in, and that hole, so that they're coincident, and selecting this one, zooming into that one so that it's orientated, and then finally selecting that face, and this time to come up with distance, let's put coincident, and that's all there. And we save that as the slider assembly.